Good night, everyone. Good night, good night, good night. Once again, welcome back to Nita's channel. Once again, welcome back. I have to excuse the lighting in here. Excuse the lighting. And again, my ring light has broken, so I'm actually holding my phone in my hand. But don't be easily turned away. Stick around. We're going to talk about delivery. So I'm going to talk about my delivery, my pregnancy delivery story. Yeah, so how was your delivery story? How was yours? How did you know that it was time for you to have your baby? Well, let me tell you mine. How did I know? So it was, my baby was due to come on the 14th, on the 14th of a particular month, which would have been my full 40 weeks. My son went 40 weeks on one day. 40 weeks in one day. So he was supposed to come on the 14th, but he didn't. So the following day, I was like, anyhow, if he doesn't come late at night on the 14th, then I would go into the hospital the other day, which would have been the 15th. So I originally had my what you call it? You have to have a bag packed. So my bag was already packed. My hospital bag was already packed. That was for packed like a couple months in advance. So I had that ready. And the thing about it is, they be like, if you in delivery, or if I'm in the delivery, if you in labor, you gotta let someone else drive you to the hospital. You don't drive yourself. So it was on the 15th. Like I said, he's supposed to come on the 14th. He came on the 15th, the following day. So it was around 6 something, no, 5 something in the morning, almost 6 a.m. I needed to pee. So I got up out of bed, went to the bathroom and peed. And I was pregnant at night. I didn't used to sleep with no panty shield because I needed to know when my water bag bursts. I need to know, you know? You ain't wear no panty shield or whatever else. You don't know when your water bag bursting or pre-breaking or whatever else. So after I would have peed, I went back in the bed and I lay down. So when I began to lay down, all I feel is little sprinkle water drizzle in my underwear. I say, what? I was like, no, I just went to the bathroom and peed. And I lay down in the bed for about 2 to 3 minutes. And I feel the sprinkle of water just sprinkle in my underwear. I was like, oh, wow. I said, you know what, I have to go to the hospital, you know. At the time, I told my child father, I'd say, I don't know, I might be in labor. I don't know. Mine was my first time being in that position to say, be in labor or whatever else. Like I told you guys in one of my videos, before this pregnancy, I was pregnant, but I had a miscarriage. But I was early on, for almost 3 months in the pregnancy. So I wasn't never to a point where, you know, I was ever in labor. No. First pregnancy of being in labor. So I would have dropped my child father off that morning to work. And I didn't even bring my hospital bag. That's not me. I say, you know what, I gotta go see if I in labor. So I gotta go see. I could say I gotta go see if I in labor. And I know my child was due on the 14th and the day's the 15th. And I packed my bag. Y'all don't be like that. Don't be like that. Pack your bag. When you pack your bag, make sure your bag go inside your car. Don't say you gotta go see if you in labor, because what if you are in labor? Tell me what you gonna do. What you gonna do? I was thinking, oh, if I in labor, okay, maybe I could go back home and pick up my bag. I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know. I had to find out the hard way. So when I arrived at the hospital, PMH, this is in the Bahamas, the hospital that we have in New Providence, that's why I live in Nassau, Bahamas. The hospital that we have over here, government hospital, is PMH, that's the Princess Margaret Hospital. We also have Doctor's Hospital. I wasn't working, so I had no insurance or nothing to say I gotta go pay that type of bill. So reached to the hospital, PMH, and the security is at the door, and he was like, what you come to do? I said, I got to the maternity ward. I gotta go see if I in labor. I know that song where I gotta go see if I in labor. So I put my stuff down, do my little screening, and after that, he let me through. Walked into the maternity ward, walked through the door, and the little receptionist answered the phone, and they say, hey, how can we help? I said, I come to see if I in labor. I said, you come to see and you labor? I said, why you think you in labor? And I was like, when I woke up this morning after 5, I needed to pee. I used the toilet and I pee. After I finished peeing, I lay back down in the bed for about 2 to 3 minutes, and I feel water sprinkle in my underwear. So I just think maybe I might be in labor. I'm not sure. Then they said, when were you due? When are you due? Then I said, supposed to be yesterday, which was the 14th, but he didn't come. I said, today's the 15th. They said, oh, okay. Then they say you bring your hospital bag. I said, no. I said, because I ain't sure if I in labor. I just come to see. Then they say, so you wearing anything? Must mean if I was wearing any panty, shield or pad or anything. I say, no. Then they say, so what if you was to embarrass yourself or something or whatever else? Or what's not? I say, John, I know. I say, I know. I just come to find out. Then they say, okay, take a seat. They asked me if I had my clinic, my hospital card. I wish I had that to show you guys how the hospital cards look. But if you look in my miscarriage video, you would see how the hospital card look. It's one of those big yellow, long yellow card that has everything inside of it. You know, they do tests upon tests to make sure that you're healthy and the baby's healthy. You don't have no type of disease or whatever else to be passed on to the child to make sure that the child is born healthy. Yes, and all of that stuff. And I sit down. I reached there like 8 o'clock that morning. I didn't even have a chance to eat breakfast. I wish I did, man, because I would have been hungry straight through. I'll tell you why. I was thinking I was been leaving, but little did I know. So they let me sit down. I sit down. I waited must be almost an hour on the bench, hard bench. Yes, they need to do something with the bench down there, PMN. Those bench too hard. Pregnant women, you pregnant, you gotta be sitting on those hard bench. So anyways, I sit down basically almost an hour before I was checked. Then the nurse told me to come in the room so they could check to see how many centimeters I was. The first nurse that checked me said, oh, she's only 2 centimeters. So you probably have to go home and come back. The other nurse and let me come off the table, and this was one of the nurses that I had when I was in the clinic that I was visiting. She come and she checked. She said, She put her hands up in there and she say, no, she 3 centimeters. She 3 centimeters. And they say, oh, you ain't going home. So you better stay here. You 3 centimeters. So you ain't going nowhere. So it's when you 3 centimeters, that means it's time. That baby come in. That baby come in. Okay? 3 centimeters is the key. It's the key. 3 centimeters. Try to do my fingers. 3 centimeters is the key to knowing that you're in labor, that you're actually in labor. You know, that first nurse, I don't know, she just coming in, okay, she 2 centimeters, like, okay, is that 2 centimeters? At least I didn't know what was the deal or what's that. So the other nurse who used to be in the clinic where I used to attend, She came and she talked. She's like, no. She put her on top of me and she's like, She 3 centimeters. Then the doctor said, oh no, you can't go home. I said, oh what? I said, but I bring my hospital bag. Say, you drive yourself to the hospital. I said, yes, I did. They said, you weren't supposed to be driving. Pregnant women ain't supposed to be driving, and especially if you know you near your due date or you didn't pass your due date, you shouldn't be driving. But hey, I was a rookie. This wasn't my I've never been in labor. Like I say, I had a miscarriage early in my first pregnancy. It was my second, so this was my second pregnancy and first time in labor. I didn't know what to expect. Nobody never told me nothing about this pregnancy rundown. So anyways, now after that, I had to use my phone. I had to message my little boy daddy and tell him, hey, I'm at the hospital, I can't leave, but I need my bag from home, so you're gonna have to get it because I'm in labor, you know. So they are getting fully in labor to prep for when I reach that 10 centimeters. When you 10 centimeters, that means it's time to push. Push, 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 push. If you ain't got no energy, it's time to find energies and push, 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 push that baby out. Yes. So anyhow, there wasn't no beds available. After they realized I was 3 centimeters, wasn't no bed. So I had to sit on the bench. I think I sit on the bench up until 2 o'clock. Yeah, so I was in there from 8 o'clock. I wish I had eat. After they told me I had 3 centimeters, they say, oh, you can't eat nothing. You can't eat nothing now because you're in labor. So when you're in labor, you can't eat nothing. Why? Because it's a process that you have to go through. Okay? And then the thing about it is, because they need you to pass to let out any feces that you have in you, so you're going to have to pass. Stool. That's what we call it. So the baby don't eat no feces when you pushing that child out. So, epidural. They ain't had none. So thank God I didn't eat no food because they ain't had no epidural. They can tell me, say, oh, the hospital don't have none. I said, okay then, the little store don't sell it in the hospital. No, you're gonna have to call one of your family members to go buy it from a store for you and bring it for you to take. I said, well, what kind of shock rock they do it in here? I said, what is this? Y'all don't have it? I gotta buy it from a food store. No beds was available. The bed that I was on to check to see if I was 3 centimeters. That was just a check and boom. You don't be in there to have your baby. That's just where the persons who come to have baby are checked to see if they are to that amount of centimeters. So anyways, after I sit on the bench for a couple hours from 8 o'clock, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 6 hours I was sitting on the bench because I say I didn't have a bed until 2 o'clock. And that bed was a bed that one of the pregnant women had who was leaving. This wasn't in COVID time, so it wasn't as bad. So they did their due diligence and tidy up the place, and then they say, okay, they have a bed available. So I could go on and lay down. So I was in the bed laying down from 2 o'clock, but I've been there from 8 in the morning. So basically I was in labor from 8 o'clock that morning. I got to bed 2 o'clock. And just laying down in the bed. They hooked me up to some drips and stuff. Finally, I think my little boy auntie came. Then they brought the epidural from the... excuse me, it's actually after 7 or 8 o'clock. Holidays the 7th of January 2022. 7 or 8 p.m. at night. Yes. So, my little boy auntie came. They bought the epidural. I already on the bed. So, I couldn't even take it. No how. That's why I say thank God I didn't eat no food. No how. So, I would not know waste all up in me needed to come out. Because that epidural thing, that to help you, um, nanny. Yep, girl, excuse me. That to help you, nanny. Let out the waste out of your body. So anyhow, so I was now in the bed from 2 o'clock, laying on, they hooked me up with drips and stuff. Oh man, when those contractions start, come in, let me tell y'all something. The pregnancy journey ain't bad. The journey whereas you carrying the baby for that 40 weeks, that ain't bad. That baby and you, only thing the baby doing is kicking, moving around, eating. Well, that's it. That ain't bad. Oh, people be saying, oh, when it's time to pushing ain't bad. The pushing ain't bad. From my experience, the pushing ain't bad. I used to be like, oh, how a whole baby could come out of your vagina? That's why your vagina, your body, your cervix open up to 10 centimeters. If you have a ruler, you know how big 10 centimeters is. Unfortunately, I don't have my ring light, so I have to hold my phone in my hand. I want to show you guys what is 10 centimeters. That coochie down there, gotta get 10 centimeters. That gotta open up. That cervix gotta open up to prepare for that baby. And people be like, oh, pushing. The labor pain is something. Had a sister pulling out her hair in the bed. Mom, when them contractions started kicking, I've been balling up. You see my hands? I've been balling up and, and balling up my fist and turning and tossing. All I hear the thing beeping. They said, no, you can't lay on your stomach. You can hold the baby. You can't do that. I've been tossing and turning all over that bed. I had my leg one way, the other leg the another way, pulling on my hair. If you'd have seen this hair been all over the place, man, when those labor pain hit you. Buddy, I don't know how it is, and I ain't trying to know how it is. But if you all know lightning is strike, I watched a lightning strike one rock one time. But labor pain, he ain't no pain to deal with. And you can imagine you having to deal with that pain up until it's time for you to reach 10 centimeters. I tell you, when I go on that bed, because the thing about it is your contractions take long. Sometimes the contraction takes a long time to dilate and to move you from centimeters. The doctor's been checking me like every 30 minutes an hour to check to see how many centimeters I was. And I probably was about 4 centimeters when it was 2 o'clock. 2 p.m. when I got on the bed. I was just 4 centimeters. From 8 o'clock in the morning when it was 3 and it was 4 centimeters. So they give me something. I don't know if I'm saying it right. I don't know if it's something that they use for you to stinky. And I think it was the epidural. But I ain't sure if I'm saying the right thing. Or is it the epidural that they give you to increase the pain? Y'all can let me know in the comments. But it's something. It's something. But anyhow, they give you this little drug. Something they push up in your arm to increase the pain. To increase the pain, so you could dilate faster. So those contractions could come, and you could dilate faster. After they see that I was taking long to dilate, because 2 o'clock and I was only at 4 centimeters. What they give me, oh my goodness. I wish they didn't give me it. Man, that had me. My striking pain, you can imagine them striking pain licking you down there, licking you. They're like, what the glory going on, man? Y'all who think y'all been in a fight, or y'all who think y'all been in a wrestling ring, getting beat up from the world famous wrestling man, what you call it, Batista, or whatever you name, Oh man, labor pain, worse than that. I tell you that. Labor pain make you want, so you may want punk out. You can't punk out because we gotta stay strong. The beans coming, them being coming. Them being coming. You can't even do nothing because them being coming and that baby inside of you. And you will move this way and the next and do the next, to all kind of things. All that been is grabbing up that bed, grabbing up that bed, grabbing up that bed, and them being coming. I said, no man, no man. I said, been through a good journey. Only thing I had was my baby knocking me in my belly. I said, nah, this labor pain. I said, oh, pregnancy ain't bad. Oh, no, it ain't bad. But when them labor pains start hitting, when them contraction and labor pains start hitting, oh my goodness, they come. But they come. They come. You hear the thunder outside. You only hear the thunder outside, but you ain't feel it. Man, them labor pain come. They come in. They come in and they stick in you. Ain't nothing you could do. That pain is a worse pain. That's why the Bible tell you. Remember, suffer through childbirth. You know, like suffer pain through childbirth. Just for Eve being vindictive and caused Adam eat the apple. So our punishment was the childbear. Eve caused that. And the pain that God allowed us. Yeah, he allowed that to happen for us to go through that pain. That pain right there, that labor pain. So you go through pregnancy, that walking hard, you holding that baby, that part ain't bad. But that labor pain, everyone thinking, oh, when it's time to push out the baby, oh, that might be the hard part. Pushing out the baby, that's the easy part for me. When I reached the 10 centimeters, it was 10 o'clock at night. It was 10 p.m. at night. You all hear me? I reached the hospital at 8 a.m. They checked me within an hour, so like 9. And they said I was 3 centimeters. The first nurse said 2. Next one checked me. She's like, this young lady's 3 centimeters. She can't go home. That's why I sit down. I waited for bed until 2 p.m. When I reached 10 centimeters, it was 10 o'clock that night. So that's a long time I've been laying up in the hospital from morning to night. But listen to this. 10 o'clock that night, I reached 10 centimeters. So the nurse them come. They say, okay, she 10 centimeters. Time to push. Time to push. And the thing is, listen, if you ain't 10 centimeters yet, you can't push. Don't push. Because you could cause your cervix swell. And if you cause your cervix swell, that can cause you to have to do a C-section. That means you can't push. You can't push the baby out no more. If you cause the cervix to swell, then the baby can't bypass through that, whether you 10 centimeters or not. So the thing about it is too, when you in labor and you're not 10 centimeters yet, you're going to feel like you want a nanny. You want to use the toilet. And you would feel like you want to begin to push for the stinky to come out. Don't push. Don't push. Don't push. All of that causes your cervix to swell. And the doctors had to tell me that. Because I'm like, man, I feeling like I want stool. And you should see me trying to begin to push. The nurse coming in, no. You don't do that. So I'm telling you, just in case you don't know. You might feel like you need to stinky. Don't push. Whatever you do, don't push. Until you reach 10 centimeters, that's when you push. Don't push until you reach 10 centimeters. You on that bed, you think you want pee, you want this, whatever. Once you get on that bed, you can't get off that bed. If you need to pee, you have to pee in that bed. They put one little bowl underneath you. If you want pee, if you want stinky, whatever it is, it can come out and come out in that bowl. But don't push. Don't push. Whatever you do, don't push. If that stinky need to come out, it can come out. But whatever you do, don't push. Because you can cause your cervix to swell. And if the cervix is swollen, you wouldn't be able to let the baby come out through natural childbirth, which is pushing it out of your vagina. You will end up getting cut. So even though I wanted to push, I couldn't. So I had to hold it in. So at 10 p.m. that night, that's when I reached 10 centimeters. And once I reached 10 centimeters, it was time to push. It was two female nurses around me. One was between my leg, the other one was on the side. I think it was three. One was between my leg, one was on the side, one was standing back, and it was a male um doctor. He was standing far in the corner, child. He must be like, child, I can't look up at this girl coochie like that. Man, the male doctors be seeing coochie, child. Let me tell you something. If you are bride, when it's time for you to have baby, no pride. If you never open up that leg like spread like you're spreading bread, you have to spread that bread. You get no shame. You gotta tear the leg wide open. Tear the leg wide open. And then you gotta push. The doctor tell you sink your head down. Sink your head in your chest. You gotta sink your head in your chest. And then push. Push. Head sink. Sink your head. You gotta sink your head in your chest. Like that. Sink your head in your chest. And push. Child. However, if you think you wanted a stool then, that was the time to push. If you feel like you wanted to stool whilst it was in contraction, don't push. If the stool needs to come out, it can come out when you reach 10 centimeters. The only thing you could do is pee. That's why I tell you, if the stinky needs to come out, it'll come out. If it needs to come out without you pushing. But you can't push because you will swell your cervix and you don't want that. You don't want that. Okay? So when I reached 10 centimeters, it was 10 p.m. that night. And like some woman them, child, when they reach 10 centimeters, they baby popping up, boop, child. I reached 10 centimeters, 10 p.m. that night. I had my little boy, 11:25. You ever see such things? I was pushing for an hour and a half. You can imagine pushing, just pushing, trying to get a baby out of you for an hour and a half. That's a long time. You on the bed pushing for an hour and a half. Pushing for an hour and a half. Me just pushing. A whole hour and a half. Them nurses mad at me. They said, Miss, you ain't pushing the right way. That's not how you do it. So you put your head in your chest and you push. But it's mad at me. They're trying to say, oh, you gotta do C-section. I say, that devil is a liar. They say, you're taking too long. So finally, the doctor was waiting on me to reach a certain point. The male doctor. All I noticed is he must be saw. When I heard the doctor say she see the head, the male doctor came over and he poked my stomach. He just poked my stomach. All I feel after he poked my stomach, all I feel was warm water. Warm water come rushing out of me. I was like, that's all I felt was warm water came out to me. Little did I know, when the warm water flowed to me, my little boy came out the same time. Could I kid you not? When your child come out of you, you ain't gonna feel that. I didn't feel it. I didn't even know he was out. All I felt was warm water. Came out of me and I was like, That's all I said. I said, So y'all want me to push? He said, no. The baby out. They hold him and show me him. First thing I said is, baby, you okay? Then the doctor say, no wonder you take so long to push this baby out. There's a big baby. You little woman, push out this big baby. My little boy was 8 pounds, 10.5 ounce. You hear that? He was 8 pounds, 10.5 ounce. That big little boy been in me. Cost me take so long to push him out. I must have got like 30-something stitches. 30-something stitches. Yep. So, yep, that was my labor and delivery story. The worst part of pregnancy is those labor pain. They strike you like lightning. But when the baby coming out, you don't gonna feel that. Let me show you guys a little photo. This here is a photo of my little boy when he was in my tummy. Yeah. It's a photo of him in my belly. It's my ultrasound photo. I have to keep this. Yes, memories. You gotta keep your child thing. Memories. Memories. For memories. My little boy. Almost want him to look like that's two baby in there. Yeah, but that's his head on the placenta. His head on the placenta. And my little boy. He's a big boy now. Getting older. Yep, so I went the full 40 weeks on one day. So don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. I share my story with y'all. So at least all I could do is give me a subscription. Join the family if y'all like the contents that I come out with. If y'all feel as if y'all feeling my vibe. Like I say, my channel is all about biblical stuff, fun stuff, adventures, and my lifestyle. Yes, you're going to hear a lot of biblical stuff because God is the head and the center of my life. Okay? And like he say, don't be a stranger. If this video was useful to you, like it. If you feeling me, if you're feeling me, give me a subscribe. Subscribe to my channel. Anyways, my home phone ringing. I gotta see what it is so we can talk later. Bye bye.